Hi there. So welcome to Stack Mentor. This is where we solve all your tech problems. So today we are going to start a new React series. It's been a while since I recorded a video. I kind of took a break for a while, but I'm back. So let's start. So we are going to tackle React, which is quite an interesting topic. So we are going to start with the fundamentals of React, what React.js is all about, why was React developed, which problem is it trying to solve, then who uses React, then React, the good side of it, what are the advantages of using React over HTML, CSS and JavaScript, then React, the bad side of it, the drawbacks of React.js, then why should I use React? You can build an entire website with just HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or you can use Bootstrap, which is a bit simplified and easy to build the user interfaces. Why should you use React? Which is a very important question. Is switching to React easy? If you've been developing websites using HTML, CSS and JavaScript, is switching to using React easy? Then we start with the fundamentals. So I just go back and start with what is React.js? What is React.js all about? React.js is just basically a JavaScript framework for building the user interfaces. As you know, JavaScript is all about adding some functionality on our user interfaces. The HTML describes how our website is going to look like, the layout. The CSS adds some styling to it, and JavaScript adds the functionality. If you click on a button on a website, you are listening for an event, so it adds that logic into our website. So React.js was developed by Facebook. That makes it quite easy because Facebook is quite popular. So it's a view layer library, not a framework, but to me it's a framework. Most people argue that React is not a framework. To me, to some context, it's a framework, not just like an Angular, because Angular is a fully developed framework. So yeah, is it a framework? Is it a library? To me, it's a framework, but very flexible, because you are able to add in you can be able to install different dependencies and use it in your application. So why was React developed? So which problem is it trying to solve? The complexity. Bad UX design makes it quite easy. A lot of data on a page changing over time, because React has some advantages. For example, the virtual DOM, because it doesn't reload once you send a GET or a POST request. Any request, it doesn't have to reload, because it loads the page while the application loads. All the data is stored on a virtual DOM, which makes it easy and quite fast. Complexity. Why? React was developed on Facebook, right? So why was it developed? Because Facebook has a lot of components. Architecture of Facebook is quite complicated, because we have the user profile, we have the post, we have the authentication bit of it. So React was developed to make that easy, because React is basically developed on a component architecture, where you create one component. Because let's say you have a blog, or you want to post something, and you can reuse that same function or component over and over time. And then we have a shift from the MVC mentality, where we had traditionally we have the model view controller. So that's the same problem it's trying to solve. So let's get in and let's install React. So I'm just going to open a directory, React. So to start a new project in React, you just open a terminal of your choice. So then you just type npx create react app or app. Then you can just do at latest to just install the latest version of React. So I'm just going to cancel out this process because I've already done that. So once that is done, because if I wait for that, it's going to take quite some time. So once that is done, I just renamed my directory to YouTube React. Open this account VS Code. I've already done that. Just actually you can just drag this here, open it with VS Code, because VS Code is an editor of my choice. So once you open the project on VS Code, so this is the folder structure for React. I will try as much as possible to explain what goes on and what is represented in each folder. So to start with, you have the node modules, which tracks our packages. So if you are going to install additional packages to our application, they are going to be stored in the node modules. Just for example, if I expand this one, we see we have like this is the normal cache, we have a hash, shaft, adobe, alloc, unbox, and we have a Babel. So most of you know what Babel is all about. Then let me just move this sucker down here. So we have the SRC, which is the source entry for our application. So inside the SRC we have app.css. This is where our JavaScript will go. So I mean, we are going to use maybe modular CSS and just the normal CSS. Then we have app.js. This is the entry file. Then we have app.test.js. This is a test file. So testing is it's quite a good topic to talk about, but I'll talk about in-depth to testing on a separate video. Then we have index.css. So this is the a styling file which is accessed all throughout the React application. Then we have index.js, and we have logo.svg, report web vitals, and the setup test.js. So we are going to understand what each file does in a minute. Then we have a package lock.json, which is we are going package.json. So package.json is just a file that helps us track our dependencies. So package lock has the functions and all that. We are going to talk about that. Then the readme.md is a file where you are going to write all about describing what your project does. I mean, you are sort of documenting your project. Then ignore the gitignore, as the name suggests, is basically a file that helps you to ignore files. Once you push a file to GitHub, so in gitignore you can basically ignore some files so that you don't push everything to GitHub. For example, you don't want to expose your testing coverage, because once you run tests, it's going to create a coverage folder with some test cases inside. Then we are going to ignore, most importantly, the node modules, this one, because if you expand this, it's quite huge and you don't want to expose that one on the node modules, because basically if you can clone this project from website, you can just type npm install and you can just regenerate the node modules. So we are going to start creating Hello World project in the next video. See you, and don't forget to subscribe.